All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. Micron, let's start off with the challenge. Micron here is up about 45 cents here on the day, so pretty much where it was. Excuse me, where it was this morning when we altered it. Our position there on Micron. Morning options always a little more expensive, so we got a better fill price on our exit, and we get a worse price on our entry, but not a significant difference here. And so going to continue to run with it. The new parameters are all in here and go. Now, something to keep in mind, right? This is not a brand new position. Meaning, we don't look at it as, oh, well, this is a new trade. This is the same trade, right? The original trade, we put in, a little bit of money. We put $1,100 for those contracts and $368. So in all, we put $1,472 into the trade, right? That was the original Micron trade and what we put into it. Now, with the trim of two contracts that we did ahead of the Intel earnings, just because of where the challenge was at, right? And with the profit with the exit of the rest of the 15th of November contracts, we essentially pulled everything off the board, okay? Now, what was it, essentially worth? Well, 1572, okay, took a gain of 1510, right? So our 1472 took a gain of 1510. So the total exposure here was 2982, right? That's what the new trade exposure, had I just held everything and continued to run with it right now, that's what it'd be worth, right? Well, we essentially trimmed that down to 1600 worth of exposure, right? So we have pulled profit off the board. We are running with that original Micron signal in trade. It's not like it's a brand new signal on the board. And this is the way, when things start to roll and hit their ATRs and whatnot, the way we roll with them. And we will continue to roll with them. Probably not too many of these, pull two contracts off. But given where the challenge was and the risk, with the Intel earnings, wanted to hold the stock over Intel earnings, but also had to be smart about it and not have a position where the challenge could get in some serious trouble there, and so that's what we did, and it's paid off nicely so far. Looking for further run here in Micron, and hopefully we get it. All right. Now, new triggers here. There are two new triggers on the board here today, and today is 10:28 p.m. session. Right? And there's two of them. You could probably guess one. I talked about it this morning, Netflix. And the other is Home Depot. And both of these are bullish signals, coming in. And if we come in and we pull them up and we look at the charts on them, they're two quite different charts. They both have 3-7 crossover action on them. Home Depot is one that has a better higher high, higher low type of a chart, here associated with it. Now, Netflix, it has the 3-7 crossover action going on it. Breaking above that 20, we have a nice kind of move on the Stoke 39.1, nice little higher low in play here with it. A little more risk associated with Netflix. Not that kind of same higher high, higher low chart over a longer period of time as Home Depot. Now, that said, right? That said, when we have two signals, I can trade one of them with the cash that we have. So when I look at it and I go, okay, which one do we trade? Right? We go to the sorting method. And the sevens, well, it's one where Home Depot comes out on top. The ties, Home Depot comes out on top. Liquidity, Home Depot comes out on the bottom. And it's because Home Depot has not reported earnings yet. And so to get 30 days out, we have earnings priced into those. The delta on them is very small. It's just one that, it's not going to give us a great gain, not going to give us much of a loss, either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Netflix instead, since earnings are not in the options, as they sit. And so going to come out to the 29th of November calls here on Netflix, and let's see. Hopefully, this price stays down just a little bit. I'm looking at the first strike, kind of the at the money strike, the 285s, and I'm looking to do 2 contracts here. Okay, so they're going for 945, 965, and these are the 29th of November. 285 calls. I'm going to put a price for 960. See if it fills me there on it. Maybe. Thinkorswim wanting to be a little clunky on me here today. There we go. I'll hit send, see if that fills here. It should fill pretty easy. Yeah, there we go. So 960 fill price there on it. Now let me make sure the alert goes out here, and then we'll go log it into the spreadsheet. So trade type, we're looking at a call option, right, on the ticker Netflix, NFLX. The price here was $9.60, and 2 contracts on this. And again, this is the 29th of November, right? 29th of November, 285 calls. Okay. All right, and 960 was the fill. All right, and that order is out. So let's come into the trade data. Let's log that. So we have Netflix, and today's date, 10:28 p.m. We have the 29th of November, 285 calls here for it. All right, just getting the thumbs up on the alert here. All right, there we go. 960, the entry price there on 2 contracts, and the stock price here on entry is 283. Well, let me come into here where we were. 283.73. Okay, 283.73. The average true range here on Netflix is 968. Right, so 968. And so that's going to give us a stock exit level of 274.05, profit level of 303. So looking for that $300 break, here on Netflix. And let's get that adjusted properly. And then our auto exit date is going to be Halloween, but the PM session, our profit date will be 11:05 PM session there. And again, 960. And that pretty much puts all our cash in play here, right? So we're pretty much we're pretty much in. Let me get the delta and whatnot here for it. We're looking at $100, 101 delta, a 31 theta, right? 101 delta, 31 theta, which is a pretty small delta, right? 101. And then our Vega here on it is, 68. So 68 here. And market vibe is 7 bullish. Still, we're just simply not seeing a big change in the metrics. The metrics just kind of hanging out. They're not getting worse. They're not, they're not improving. They're just kind of in that, I hate to use the term Goldilocks bullish period, because anytime you start hearing people say Goldilocks, things are going to fall apart. But kind of in that type of area where it's not not too significant one way or the other in terms of the magnitude of change there. Okay. All right, so that's the Netflix entry, and that leaves the challenge here with, it should be less than $100 in cash. Yes, $16 in cash. So yeah, so not not able to jump into another position on the next signal. Visa looks like I missed out on that one, being patient, with it on Friday and not getting in. But again, we saw where the option prices were this morning. We haven't seen a huge increase in the option pricing here this afternoon. And you've seen me, so far this challenge and even last challenge. I'm not afraid to miss a signal, and whatnot. Why? Because there's going to be another one, right? That's just the way it goes. And here, the start of October, the month of October. The signals have been pretty jam packed. There's been a more jam packed signal period, which historically is the norm. With how things are geared, and expect similar in November and December for signals to be at this type of pace. Okay. Alrighty. My apologies. Give me 15 seconds. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, into Netflix, into holding on to a portion of Micron. Made those adjustments here today. Off and rolling here with the challenge. Would love to get that kind of a little bit of a little bit more positive on both these trades. Push us up into that first double here for the challenge. I think it's well deserved given the patience for the first few trades, and we'll look to score with that as we go forward. Thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic evening, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.